Hello everybody and welcome back to the Pichonnière Valley. So I decided to take on a few more contracts, so we're just going to go into here and get this tedding one done. We do also have a wood transport one on, which that will be a fair bit of money. My biggest thing is just trying to make sure, let's just reverse back, we're not fully on the edge now, we are, is to make sure we have enough money to be able to lease the equipment we need, because we're going to have to lease a windrower first. We're then going to have to lease the baler and then the bale wrapper. So we can't obviously do this all in one go because we've 662 in the bank. The first thing we need is windrower. So we could go for that one, but this is the one I would like to lease, and yeah, we don't have enough money. So my hope is after we've done this this bit of tedding, we'll have enough to lease that, and then we can go windrow, and then after we windrow we can go do the wood mission, which if we take the bale trailer and the John Deere, that should be adequate enough for us to do. That is very, very nice, being here, looking, having the railway there and working this little field. But yeah, with the John Deere and the trailer, we should have enough room on there to do this wood transport, because it's not a huge one. And then I'm hoping that will then fund the baler, and then there is a possibility, because we own the fertiliser spreader, if we go on to here, there is a fertilising contract, but unfortunately, now looking at that, it's too big, and I don't think one bag of fertiliser will do it, which is unfortunate. We could, however, go do a mowing contract, and that mowing contract then we'll be able to lease the bale wrapper. I better put the tedder down to do that. The only other option that we may have to make some money is if we go to the cows milk. There's 1,800 litres of milk, which if we go to here, where are we? Milk 1,800. So we could get maybe £4,000, but it's better if we wait till January to do the selling there. But anyways, in the meantime, we'll get this tedded. We'll go back to the farm, drop this off, and then have a look to see whether we can get this. If we can't, we'll have to do the wood transport mission, because it is sort of our brief gap in finance is very, very low. Doesn't, we will have to go do this forestry contract. So 629, yes please. And now come on, let us lease this please. Oh, so we weren't far off at all being able to lease it. But right, let's go. We can go collect that and bring that down to here, and then obviously we've got these two fields to do, and then we won't need it, I don't think, over winter, so we will return it. Yeah, it's just one of those things. At the minute, money is rather tight, and if we have a look at bale wrappers, that's 8,000. So can we? Okay, so we can lease that. I should have changed it to a black wrap, but anyways, we're now down to £76. Considering I've got front linkage on it, it's probably a good idea to have leased this then, because at least that's now on and ready. I've never used one of these before, so I don't quite know how they work, whether you've got to load them up, manually, or whether you just reverse on to pick them up. I don't honestly Don't honestly know on that one. This windrow, as and when we get a chance, we will buy this because it's a brilliant working width and it's fairly cheap for what it is. The log moval, or is it log moval or wood moval? What's wood transport? We're fortunate that it's literally just at the bottom here, so that shouldn't be too bad, and we can do that with the muck grab, I would hope. And then it's just all the way up to there. So the hardest part about it all, I would imagine, is the journey. I could have cut through them bushes there, to be fair. But anyways, so yeah, we'll make a start. Considering we are now here, we'll make a start here. I don't see any point having to take the bale wrapper off, so we'll leave that on. And then after we've done the wood transport, because it's up that way, if it gives us enough money for the baler, we'll be able to bring the baler back. So that may just be something that we throw onto the trailer, considering it's there. So it's actually should work out fairly all right for us. So interestingly, this field is just grass, but yet it's the same colour as the field that we tedded over there, which is hay. So I hope there hasn't been any issues or the like. But I know one thing, we'll certainly find out this episode whether that is the case or not. Right, that is that field done. So we close that up. I don't think... Did I already look or not? Do they do windrowing contracts? No, but there's more tedding contracts. That could be. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. That one and that one are the two that I think I'm just going to keep an eye on just to see, because they could be very well worthwhile doing. Right, we'll take this up to the top up there, then we can go jump in the John Deere. We can return this windrower, which I don't know actually how modern it is. I'd have to check it up. The VR1224. See when these were in production or made or out like that. But I think the style of it fits in with this Let's Play. That's my sort of opinion. But anyways, right. This up to here, and we'll leave that there. Let's go jump into this with the spreader on, which unfortunately we used, was it 53 litres. We used trying to fertilise the grass, but we couldn't do it. But we can do it this time though. And where is our trailer? There. So we'll get this on and I'll meet you down at the log pile. So I know in the previous episode I was unsure whether I was going to film another one before the update comes out, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense with the bales and so on, that we needed to get them cleared up as soon as possible. Where are these? Are we in here for these? But yeah, with the bales, and that's a lot easier for me to know how many bales we have to add them into the new save as it were, than it would be for me just to guess and redo everything. But right, let's leave this here. Make sure I'm on the trailer to do that, and we'll give this a go. I don't know how well this will be, but we should be able to get all these on the trailer. If we don't, it's a bad job, and that is completely it'll be completely my fault. I don't think I'm going to be able to get them in like that though. How many have I got on the times there? Is that 2? Or none? One at a time it is then.
In the pursuit of more, we'll find our way. With every chase in this endless race, in this game we'll play forever in the greedy way. In the hunger of the night we'll soar, our hearts craving for something more. With every evil lead astray, we'll dance forever in the greedy way. Through the highs and lows we crave the rush. In the whispers of temptation we hush. Bound by desire we'll never sway. In the realm of excess we'll stay. With every risk we take and chances we make, in this path we'll stray forever in the greedy way. In the hunger of the night we'll soar, our hearts craving for...
So I imagine, is this the trigger? Are we delivering this to the barrel factory? Is that what it is? It must be the barrel factory. Right, let's put these in. And I don't know, do you get a bonus for wood transport? You know, for bringing all this, do we get any extra money or anything? I don't know, but we'll find out. 16 pounds. So it brings us up to 93 pounds in the bank. Right, now this is where I really hope. Let's collect on that 2,000, and now we need the baler. So we're gonna go for this one. We must be able to lease this. Yeah, 640. So let's lease that, and then we'll put this onto the back of the trailer. Let's just sort all them straps out. We'll put that onto the back of the trailer, and then we can bring that back to the farm and do some baling. And when I was driving them, if there are any people who do mods or anything like that watching, one thing that I thought would be really quite cool is obviously a trailer like this. It's a bit of the old-fashioned sort of vibe about it all. But when you put your straps on, we've got ratchet straps. How cool would it be if you could have an option for string? Right, I've been shown many a time how you can do, use string like a ratchet strap, but could I tell you how to do it now? Absolutely not. It still baffles me whenever I watch people, but it would be really quite cool. Bit of string going over there instead of a ratchet strap, I think would work really quite nicely. But anyways, with our baler now on, we'll take this back, and I'm glad we're not going up any hills, because with that bit of timber we did struggle going up. So everywhere until we get to the farm is downhill. So we'll take this down, we can start to get things baled, and then use this mighty muck grab. I'll tell you what, if you want a piece of machinery that seems to just do everything, this muck grab is the one for you. It's amazing. I think the only thing I've struggled to use it for is to pick up the bag. It took me a bit of messing on to get the tines under the bag when I loaded the fertiliser spreader in the previous episode. But I would be very interested to see if you were to go via the top, so lift it up like this and open it up, whether you'd be able to pinch a bag like that and then lift that up into the air to put it where you want it to be. Fair dues with this front loader. It's not the biggest. Well, it's not even on the biggest of tractors. But would that work? That's what I would be interested to see. So the next time we get a big bag or anything of the like, we'll give that a go. So out of interest, will this tractor, power this baler? So there is only one way to find out. Let's take the straps off, and we'll pull this forward and we'll put it on, and then we'll see what we can do. And what I am going to do is I'm going to get both fields baled, and then I'm going to try wrap this field, and then that would probably make for a very good episode. So wrapping is the thing that I'm very much looking forward to having a go and trying to figure out, because I honestly don't know how it's all going to work. Let's just nip through here. So let's turn it on, drop it down. We are starting at quite possibly the worst angle, going from the bottom. But if this takes too long, which at the minute it's 7 miles an hour, let's put that onto cruise control. And whilst it's doing that, let's just have a look at the speed. What is the working speed? 10 miles an hour. Yes, so we're doing only half of that. And we need to empty a bale. So what I'll do is once we get to the top, we can take the baler off. We'll go jump into the Massey. It rolled back then. We'll go jump into the Massey Ferguson, and then that should make life a lot easier and quicker. And as you see, these bales, is that rolled down or is it? I know in that other field there, they were rolling down. And especially for some reason, when I was trying to load them up, obviously trying to do them side by side, whenever you put a bale, if you put a bale on the high side of the hill or the bank, before you even put it down, for some reason the bale would start rolling down the bank, you know, the one that you were trying to line it up with, which was most annoying. But we'll keep giving it a go, because I like to stack that. Well, when I was younger and I used to work a lot on with bales and so on, that's how we used to stack there. I would never have stacked them end on end like how I prefer to do in the game. And there we go. So that is quite a lot of bales, to be fair. So if we let's turn that off, sort that all out, and get that empty. I'm interested to know, because there is other options in balers. See, they're only 125, 125. So you're looking at 65,000, but they're too modern for us to use. Annoyingly, that's getting slightly closer, but 93,000. Oh, we will have to see. But we've got onto the windrower. Let's return that so that can go. The baler, that can be returned back. And now onto a problem. These bales. So when we did this field was cut and tedded. This field wasn't. But for some reason, this field, we've produced hay bales. And that shows what I was mentioning earlier. Like, do you see that bale there? It's stopped. It's not moving. But if we go too close, like that, it's rolling and we haven't touched it. Yeah, so it's actually quite a steep field when you look at it, when you actually get out the tractor and have a look. So what we are going to do, I believe this could very well be the last episode before the update. And what I'll do is I'll count how many hay bales are in here, and we'll replace them back in the save game into there. On this side, we will count how many hay bales are, and I'll replace them back in as grass. And then that means we can use the wrapper up there. I think that's sort of what makes the most amount of sense. So is there, let's just have a look. Is there anything that we're doing a lot of tedding grass, and I wouldn't dare go. Fair dues, it's local, but I wouldn't dare go ted that. We've done a wood transport, so we don't really want to do another. Although that's you're not taking them very far there, which is actually quite good. Let's have a look. I'm not doing a mowing, harvesting, fertilizer jobs. They're both quite big. We've done a dead wood before. Imagine going in that with a 3-meter cultivator, and it's these ones which are just square. So I think we'll leave it at that for now, personally. And then the next time we come on to here, it should be the new update. So everything will be slightly different, which I'm sure you can all understand. But one thing I may change is if we go to harvesters, I've got all these smaller harvesters here. We currently have this one, but in the Fent, which is quite nice, to be fair, but combination. So it's got a 6-meter header to it. I'm half toying with changing up to go for a class combine, so we can go for that one, which is 6-meter header. This one, that's 5.1, so that's getting slightly better. What's this New Holland here? How big's the header on there? 5.1. So we could go for the New Holland, yeah, or we go for something a lot smaller. But I am half tempted because I will want to at some point do more, more of a vintage, well, a bigger vintage series as it were. This is sort of like an in-between, where going for something smaller like these may come very much in handy. So that's a 4-meter and a 3-meter cutting header. What's this one? Oh, I think one of these. I'll have to remember which one's which. Yeah, so 4-meter. Anyways, that could very well be. I don't know whether I may swap one of these out or we just stay with that Fent. But if the update hasn't come out before this episode is released, please do let me know your opinions below. But on that note, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.